We're live.
We did it.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back, John.
Yay, I'm back.
Yay.
And then I leave again next week. So bye.
What's next week?
Con Bravo, Hamilton, Ontario. Their only con on the circuit in Canada.
Well, yeah, at least it's domestic. That's okay.
Yeah. Well, the problem is it's Hamilton, so
Yeah.
that's the trade-off.
Where
Well, let's
were
talk
you
about the
again?
show you just did.
Yeah.
Hey, I just got back from Anime, Iowa.
Right. Yeah, we talked about it real briefly. I didn't know you were an anime guy.
Nah, I used to be. Not as much anymore.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm laughing because I just realized you never fixed your camera.
Well, there's nothing wrong with my camera.
New camera. Looking good.
New camera looks great. It's a good angle.
Yeah. Well, everyone was complaining about the old angle,
It's true.
so I figured this has to be an improvement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they asked me to come down and be their first gaming guest. So I went down, ran a couple panels.
Wait, the first gaming guest ever?
At Anime Iowa, yes.
Wow. How many years has this show been going?
15.
Holy smokes.
I was their first gamer guest, and
Actually, wait, hang on. I understand you were the first gamer guest.
yes, I was about to say they made some mistakes in the guidebook. They misspelled gamer wrong and put down gammer, Gammer. So I'm a professional gamer now.
Right. I mean, they're not video game people, so it's easy to make up the mistake. You're the first one.
Yep. The first gamer. I did it. So no matter what, they can't take that away from me. I'm the first gamer and gamer at the same time.
Yep.
They also accidentally said my name wrong at opening ceremonies.
What'd they say?
They said Proto John. They left out the N. So when they did that, I kind of razzed them on stage about the Gammer thing, and then I heard the host audibly go, "Oh no!" out loud, which made me laugh. So I felt a little dickish, but I also felt way better after that.
Oh no.
No, I had fun. It was a good crowd, nice and chill. More people showed up than I expected to see me, which was nice. It was me and Reese, no Emil, no Tim. A couple of our friends showed up, so we hung out with them for a while. Did 3 panels, did one for Throne Controllers, did a Q&A session, and did a intro to streaming kind of panel.
Nice.
So that was honestly fun to do. Actually bought some anime on the trip, which I don't think I've done in well over a decade. So that was cool.
What did you get?
Yeah. Do people still buy like anime?
They must because they straight up like had multiple booths selling Blu-rays and DVDs.
Okay. What did Crunchyroll have a booth?
No, it was a bunch of local shops that were selling anime.
Okay. All right. Well, what'd you buy?
I picked up DD Fist of the North Star, which is like a more silly version of Fist of the North Star. I picked up Slayer's Revolution R, I think is what it was called, which is seasons 4 and 5 of Slayers, which I didn't realize existed. So that works for me because I had seasons 1 and 3 already. And I picked up the first half of Mobile Suit G Gundam.
Okay. I've seen none of these.
Yeah. G Gundam, everyone tells me G Gundam is a series right up my alley, so figured I would finally bite the bullet and pick it up. Or I guess the first half of it, because it was like a new Blu-ray release, so I gotta get the second half if I like it.
Cool. Did you buy games?
There was only one game booth, and they were mostly imports, so I grabbed 2 import games. They had Sega's Fantasy Zone on the Famicom, which I picked up, and they had bringing it back to our conversation before the podcast. Uno. They had Uno for Super Nintendo, Super Famicom, so I picked it up.
Nice.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a tie into that Uno DX game that you have or not.
The one on the Sega Saturn?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that one had a story mode. Does yours have a story mode?
I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
Is it just Uno? It's probably just Uno. Most of the time, it's just Uno. That's cool. All right. Are you gonna go back?
If they want me back, yeah. Looks like they're going to be in a different city next year. This was in Des Moines, Iowa this year, but they're going back to the city they used to be in, which is 2 hours away from that airport. So the options might be getting a 2-hour ride from that bigger airport to the city, or taking like a puddle jumper plane from Des Moines to that airport. So we're going to see which is more viable. But it's also at a time where it usually blocks another con we go to, so I'm going to have to wait and see on that.
All right. Okay. Well, cool. I bet you had some fans that like rarely get to see you there, so that was probably exciting to them.
Yeah, no, it was surprising. Like it was surprising how a few faces I recognized, a couple people I see on stream that normally like I've never get to see anywhere else. Finally got to see them there, so it was really cool.
How was Iowa aside from the convention?
Very warm. Goddamn. I stayed inside as much as possible, and then we had to walk like a block in like the midday sun, and it sucked.
Get any good food? What's Iowa known for?
Iowa is known for pork. That's their main like food that everyone like was hyping up there. I guess, and corn, but we never really saw corn when we were there because we were in the city.
Did you eat some corn?
No, didn't have any corn. I'm trying to remember
some pork.
I'm trying to remember that right now because the main thing I remember having was a lot of like chicken dishes.
Okay. Despite everyone hyping up the pork.
Yep.
All right.
Well, no, actually, I did have some because we went to this crazy like Asian pizza place. It was like a few Asian fusion pizza place called Tiki's, I think.
So like Asian Italian fusion or something.
It was like the only Italian thing was really the pizza. I don't think they really had any pasta. But like the pizza was honestly really good. They had a lot of really good options.
Did you have at an Asian pizza place?
I think they call it Meatzilla.
All right.
So it was like a 10-inch thin crust with a lot of meat on it, and it was delicious.
Cool.
Nice.
Well, right on. Paul, what's up with you, man?
Not a whole lot. Started getting a little bit sick, but that's gone. So just kicking it. Yeah, I know. Great time of year to get sick. But it's been rainy here, so it's probably why.
Right. Is it storming right now?
No, it did earlier though.
Yeah. Because my mom was texting me. She just flew in from Europe, and they had to like circle the airport for a bit because there was a storm.
It was pretty bad, yeah. It didn't last long though, so that's good.
Right on. Nothing new with me. Nothing came out movie-wise to talk about, as I usually start the show with. But
I guess I watched Stranger Things season 3 this week since we last chatted.
Okay.
That's okay.
I ran out of things I was interested in watching on Netflix, so I've started to continue Stranger Things.
Okay.
Episode 4 was where I stopped.
Season 1?
Yep.
Okay. If you don't like it by the end of season 1, you don't have to continue. Season 2's bad, and season 3's only okay if you like body horror stuff. There's weird stuff going on in there, but season 3's fun. Season 2 sucks. I don't think 3 makes up for how bad 2 is if you didn't like 1, because I still think 1's the best.
Yeah, 1's been fine. I can't remember why I fell off of it originally, but you know, it's fine continuing up where it was.
Mm-hmm.
So you like 3 though?
I do like 3. Yeah, it does some weird horror stuff that I really enjoy that not many things do anymore.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, well then let's do the podcast proper. This is the top-down perspective for July 18th. And that might be my mom's birthday. Hang on, I need to look at the calendar.
Oh no.
Now that I think about it.
Call her live on air so we can all wish her happy birthday.
Don't
okay,
do
good.
it. Don't do it.
Good.
Not her birthday.
Good.
And I'm Sean Booker.
Oh, and I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
Great. John, you've been gone, so why don't you tell us what you've been playing for 2 weeks?
Cool. Not all that much. Couple games came out while I was traveling, so I tried them out. First off was Blazing Chrome. Now, this is a brand new Contra game, or Contra-like game, put out by, is it the Arcade Group, I think is their name?
The Arcade Crew and Joy Masher.
Yeah, there we go. It is an excellent game. It's actually super fun.
Mm-hmm.
However, it is a Contra game, and therefore I beat it on my first flight.
Yep. I was gonna say because
And
it came out the day you
s-
left, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I slept through part of that flight and still beat it before I landed in Minneapolis.
Boy, it is short. It is a short game.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. They kind of shot themselves in the foot because they decided, I get why they did it, but they shot themselves in the foot because the hardest difficulty you can play right out of the gate is normal.
Yeah.
And it has unlimited continues. So
Yep.
you're going to beat it pretty fast.
Yep.
Hey, but why are you wet?
Is it good though? Is it like it's good for the short while it's time it's there?
Yeah, it was super fun. But it's all it's. I feel like for the length, it's expensive. Is the problem? Like I think it was $25 Canadian, something like that.
Yeah, it's like $20 normally. So it's on sale for us now for like 21 Canadian. But yeah, it's usually like 25, I think. So yeah, it's super expensive. But like the thing is that if you like Contra 3 specifically, the Alien Wars, this is very much that. And that's
great. I compare it a bit more to Contra Hardcore because I think depending on what character you use, you get different weapons, which is exactly what Hardcore did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other ones you don't unlock until later though, which I'm glad.
Yeah, no. You right out of the gate, you only have 2 characters to choose from, and then once you beat the game, you unlock the other 2.
Mm-hmm.
But you also unlock Hardcore mode, which is the mode that actually has continues.
Yeah.
Boss Rush, and there's something else that unlocks too. I forget what it is. I think there was like a high score ranking mode you unlocked, but I was on an airplane, so I didn't exactly get to use it.
Gotcha. Yeah. This is out on Game Pass as well, which is how I played it for free, and that was the perfect price for it. $20
Game
is
Pass.
steep.
Fucking go for it.
Is it just PC Game Pass though?
Maybe. I don't know anything about Xbox Game Pass.
I don't know if it's on Xbox. I think it's supposed to be. I think it was supposed to be on all the majors.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess obviously I played it on Switch since I was traveling.
Yeah.
6 stages. Decently length stages. Like I said, going through the game your first time, you're gonna beat it because it gives you unlimited continues.
Yeah.
But it was really fun. I can definitely feel that game is fun with co-op. I like that the fact that the other characters you get later, and I've only tried one of them so far. I've only tried 2 of the 4 characters, but one of them is literally just Ryu from Ninja Gaiden, which immediately gives it a thumbs up in my book.
Yeah,
it's literally like you don't have a gun, you have a sword. You slash the sword. You have a little sword slash that shows up in front of you. You can charge your sword, so you get a big sword slash that goes farther. But otherwise, you're only fighting with a sword.
Yeah,
which is great. And even like the default characters have melee weapons as well if an enemy gets too close.
I guess my biggest disappointment is that there are 4 characters, but the 2 beginning ones it's obvious why they're standard. They have weapons and like they want you to see the different weapons in the game.
Yeah. Can I be real though? I kind of hate the weapons the girl has. The default girl. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I don't know their names.
9 times out of 10, I was using the default gun. I would switch to the charge beam if I had a boss coming up, or I'd switch to the grenade. But like, I hated the whip 9 times out of 10. I just stuck with the machine gun, and that just worked out fine.
Well, they both got the same weapons. You could get all 4 if you didn't.
Oh, they both have all 4,
which is disappointing.
I was hoping they had different sets.
Also,
I was really hoping for different.
The character you're talking about that does the melee, the other unlockable character is the exact same. So there's only 2 archetypes. There's gun character or melee. It's
really?
It's kind of a bummer for $20.
I was really hoping that they were like different melee or like a combination.
Me too. So what I'm trying to say is there's no reason for me to go back to this game, but I loved the time I had with it. So it's hard to recommend, but I think people should play it if they're able to cheaply, if that makes sense. Like $20 is too much for this thing, I think. And that's too bad because I strongly like if you're going to pick up one of their games, Odalis and Oniken, I think is the other one.
Yeah.
Are both fine for their prices. This is the first time I really kind of felt like you guys like didn't put enough in here. Honestly, it's like not there. And it's kind of too bad because the quality of everything, the animations, the boss fights, like everything in it is very good. There's just not enough of it.
It is an excellent Contra game if Contra stopped at Contra 3.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yep. It's too bad. But still good.
I don't know. I still recommend it, but it's hard to recommend for the price. That's the problem. Because if I literally I beat it in like an hour.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's more of a rent? Just go to your Blockbuster and rent it?
Yeah, exactly. Go to Blockbuster, give them your USB drive, and say I want to rent Blazing Steel or Blazing Chrome.
Yeah.
It is on Xbox One Game Pass as well.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. If you have Game Pass, 100% recommend it. Play it. You'll have fun, especially if you like Contra games. If you like Contra games, play it, but it might be not worth the price right out of the gate. And I hate saying that because it's a good game, but it's very short. If you're okay with a very short experience, or you want a Contra game you're going to replay a couple times because you get a different character set and you get a harder difficulty, then by all means go for it. I'm sure they probably do the Contra 3 thing where if you play through it on hardcore difficulty, the final boss has more forms. Because honestly, the final boss
felt abrupt,
too easy. Yeah,
it felt okay. I'm not going to give away the final boss, but he does this thing. He goes into another form, and then like he has two parts of that form that you like go into like an weird dimensional thing. After the second one, I thought for sure there was one final form, but the game ended. And I was like,
so, which makes me think it's going to pull a Contra 3, and if you play on hardcore, there's one more form.
That's like what I think too. So I can't confirm. I haven't gone back to it yet, but I think I might.
I started playing through on normal with the ninja character, so.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'd like to know. I think it is going to do something like that too. But I hate that 3D part, like with a passion. Where you're floating.
The tunnel part or the final boss part?
No, the tunnel.
It's really hard to dodge things with that perspective. Yeah,
it's gross.
I burned a lot of lives there.
Yeah, it made me feel like car sick while sitting at my computer. Like it was.
I was sitting in an airplane doing that stage. How do you think I felt?
Yeah, no, that's terrible. And it's weird because it switches. Like usually throughout the game, you can hold the button to lock your character and then move your aiming reticle. But in that part, you lock your aiming reticle and move your character around to dodge. And it's so off-putting. It's weird. But yeah, I don't know. That's a weird thing.
It has local co-op, but not online co-op, I guess?
Yes, that's correct. It is very much an arcade game, classic game, kind of like that.
Yeah. They're an indie, like, thing going on, so I don't think it's unfair to not expect online co-op for this. It's very their games are very much in the vein of this could have come out on like Super Nintendo, basically. So
like I said, yeah, I still recommend it, but it's just tough sell for the price and the length. Other than that, I played through the Messengers DLC Picnic Panic.
Me too. Yep.
Also very short.
I tried to play it.
Yeah.
And then it was like, hey, you need to beat the final boss again to get access to it.
Man, I went through this ridiculous rigmarole trying to get this because the day it came out was the day I flew. So I downloaded a patch at first.
Yep.
And then I checked in the game.
Yep.
When I was on the plane, and it was like, yeah, no, you can do this DLC, but you got to go to the eShop first to download it.
This exact thing happened to me as well.
So I couldn't find it on the actual eShop page, or when I went to like look in DLC for the Messenger. So I went to the eShop and did a search for Picnic Panic to find it.
Yep.
Got it, downloaded it, got it to work, and then found out I had to beat the game again anyways, because between when the game first came out and I beat it and now, they added New Game Plus mode, and the DLC is a New Game Plus thing, so I had to rebeat the boss. Thankfully, my save was at the final boss.
So, yeah, my save is as well, but it's been like, how long? Like 8 months or something since I played that game?
I'm going to one-up both of you then, because I fucked up. My save was at the boss, but I thought
did
maybe...
you overwrite your save?
No.
You overwrote your save.
No, I thought maybe I have to go to the shop and, like, see... Or maybe like it's in.
Oh, you went back
to the tower.
You went back to the hub.
I went back to the tower, and then I had to start the whole last level again to get to the final boss, and then beat the boss. So
that's what I would have to do. I'm in like
I went on
above
their
area.
site and they said look for like the neon palm tree, and I didn't
Yeah,
see one, but
me
I noticed
neither.
the orb actually had a prompt,
yeah.
and it was just like, yeah, no, you needed all the DLC to even get that tree to show up, which was silly.
Yep, and I didn't have that because I didn't have that DLC like you said. So when I loaded up the game after getting the patch, I was like, "Oh, awesome. It auto downloaded for me." Wait, where is it? Maybe it's in here. Oh no.
Yeah. So I got lucky, and I was surprised that I don't remember the final boss being as easy as it was.
Yeah,
But
he's not bad at all actually.
no, I was like, I remember having a hard time playing this the first time through, and then the second time I died once because I screwed up and did the wrong dodge. But then I remembered like the cheese strat for that giant mask attack.
That giant mask
So
attack.
Okay.
so then like the boss was a joke at that point. Yeah, like, you know the giant mask where it shoots these lasers and you're supposed
Oh,
to
where
run
you're just
around in
floating and
circles?
just like hitting him over and
No.
over? Or
No, it's the one where there's a giant mask in the middle. He's sitting at the bottom and there's a laser chasing you. They want you to run around in circles.
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but if you use the grappling hook on the boss, you get iframes, so you just clip through the laser with no damage and keep hitting the boss back and forth. It makes him a joke.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay, boss done. All right, credits, DLC. Finally, we can go.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, the DLC is free. It just was a bit annoying to get on Switch and might be on other systems. Have to beat the game to access it first.
I was seeing
It's alright.
there was some issue with the Twitch version of it because it came to like Amazon, like Twitch Prime as a free game,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and like
I
that
remember
wasn't
this.
updating in time.
Apparently,
other one?
yeah, apparently Twitch had to be at, like, wasn't responding about, or Amazon, one of the two. I
Yeah,
forget
something
which.
like that.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's there now. I didn't look into it. I also didn't play it when it was like redo the whole last area. I was like, I don't even remember how to play this game. Like, I'm out. This is ridiculous.
Well,
Get your shit in order.
I thought it was good for what it's worth. I liked it.
It was fun. It was harder than I expected, which was good,
Yeah.
since it was like end of game DLC, which made sense.
Yep, for sure.
But it was also shorter than I expected because it's 3 new areas,
Mhm.
and then honestly, a really fun mode that I'm kind of sad they didn't make into an actual multiplayer mode.
The race?
The race actually was really fun, and I kind of wish they made that into a multiplayer mode.
There's 2 screens that I'm pretty sure show up as catch-up mechanics that you can't beat for the other boss. But yeah, there's 2 specifically.
There's some mean ones there.
Yeah. The rest are fine.
I felt so angry because I think I went like 4-0, but you need to get the 5, and then he
He
came
caught up.
back and got 4 in a row.
Yeah.
And I barely won the last one. I think by like a fraction of a second.
There's a catch-up mechanic in there for sure because I had to do that part multiple times because I fucked up on something. And yeah.
So, oh yeah, what happens if you fail the race? I didn't like.
It just
Does
counts you as
the-
dead.
Okay, but I thought the whole point was that your greed demon died. We're spoiling things. I guess I should stop.
Yeah, I know. It just counts you as
We'll
like
we'll
dead.
talk about this off cast.
Sure.
But yeah, no.
Yeah, and that ending fight is
no,
so good.
That fight was cool, and then the boss fight right after at the end of the DLC was a big surprise, to put it bluntly. Very unexpected, but was fun.
It was super good. I'm glad I actually had to replay the last level. It got my my finger muscles back into like how to play that game because some of those masterpieces are fucked up to get.
Oh, there's one in particular I hated.
Yeah,
and I bet you probably know which one it is.
Is it the one with birds or the one with
No, okay, no, but that one of those sucked first.
The one with closing gates?
No, that one was fine.
Okay.
It's the one with enemies that are jumping at you.
Jumping at. I'm trying to remember which one that was.
You have to grappling hook them as they jump towards you, otherwise you don't make any jumps.
Yeah, the long one that you go across and then back up over lava.
That one's mean. That one's super mean.
It's bullshit. Yep. That's true.
And the thing you get for getting all those pieces kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep, it does.
But it's also kind of neat in a way. Did you? Yeah, we'll leave that off cast. But like, it's a neat thing for those who really like that game and are playing through it.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of other things they unlocked too, which I didn't realize I had to look into. There's a couple of hidden things. There's one thing I straight up had to look up online because I could not figure it out.
Oh,
There
maybe
was
I
one
don't
part of the
know
map
then.
I had no idea how to access,
Oh.
but it's marked off with a door. So you know that you're supposed to be able to go through there. So I'm like, oh, maybe it's just a graphical glitch or something. I had to look it up and like, no, there actually is a way to get there. It's very unintuitive.
Oh.
I'll tell
Okay.
you about that off cast if you want.
Sure, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, the DLC is probably what, 2 hours, 3 hours?
Yeah, 2 to 3. I could see that.
Yeah.
2 to go
Especially,
through it.
especially if you're going for the
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you're going to get all the mass pieces and the feathers, then yeah.
Oh, that last feather was that pissed me off because I missed it the first time, and then I had to go back and do that whole level again just for that one part.
I do that too, yeah.
I hated that specifically. I really liked that DLC though. That's like the perfect free thing to keep me interested in that game. Come back to it.
The DLC was fun, and they're teasing more, but they're also saying there's no guaranteed more. So it's weird that they would
how they ended it is
the way
weird.
they did. Yeah,
yeah.
We'll see. Weird. Basically,
yeah. I mean, it's not a spoiler to say it's a huge cliffhanger that might not get answered if they don't do something with it. So, yeah.
Other than that, at the con, they had a gaming area where we could just walk up, grab a game, go sit down and play it. So a group of 4 of us sat down and played a bunch of Dragon's Crown Pro.
Okay, yeah. I think you and I played that at some point a long time ago. Not Pro, on PS3.
Yeah, that would have been a super ass long time ago. But yeah, we were just like, all right, man, what's a cool 4-player game? Yo, you want to? Someone else grabbed it before I did because they saw the case. The case on it is like a steelbook that pops out. So I was like, yo, that game's a great beat 'em up. You want to go play that? And everyone's like, sure. So we just played like 2 or 3 hours of it at the con.
Nice.
And I forgot how fun that game is, so I'm totally gonna try to get a group together to play through it on stream or something, because that is a fun beat 'em up. That is also an RPG. Vanillaware game. I'm trying to think of what game they'd be best known for at this point. Probably Dragon's Crown, but I guess Odin Sphere would be the other game they're known for.
Yep.
Muramasa the Demon Blade. A couple of those games, like they're very 2D artsy games. Fun beat 'em up, very akin to Dungeons and Dragons, the Capcom beat 'em ups that they put out.
Yep.
You get 6 different character classes: Amazon, Sorceress, Elf, Fighter, Dwarf, and Wizard or Warlock. I forget which one he calls himself. But yeah, like they all play somewhat differently. They all have their own special abilities. There's like weak attacks, strong attacks, combinations, specific abilities that you can use per character, level up, skill trees, etc. It's fun. I honestly recommend it.
Yeah,
it's a fun little looting RPG. It's got a lot of length to it too. I think it's like 20 plus hours.
Yep.
But it is a fun cooperative beat 'em up with online and local multiplayer.
Yep. It's a good
Otherwise, I've been playing Dr. Mario World.
Okay, we talked about this last week, so what are your thoughts?
There's things I love about it and there's things I despise about it.
Okay.
I don't like this game.
Yeah,
Okay,
I didn't either. But go on.
I don't mind these kind of games, so that's probably why I didn't mind playing it so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much modeled in a Candy Crush style game where you have a screen, you have X amount of resources, and you need to figure out how to get through it. You get ranked on how many by your score, and once you clear a stage, you can move on to the next one or go back and use it. There's a stamina system. You get 5 hearts. If you beat a stage for the first time, you get an extra heart. Your friends can send you 1 extra heart per day, and every heart recharges about half hour. There's also a multiplayer mode where you can play against other humans and gain rankings, and those will get you more unlocks. The main idea of the game is that it's a gacha game where you pick your starting character out of 3. You can go Dr. Mario, Dr. Bowser.
Yeah, I picked that as well. He seems just so much better.
He is, honestly.
Yeah.
Straight up, like someone was talking to me. He was like, yeah, I was playing real seriously. Like the meta is like pick Bowser at the beginning, basically.
He just gets rid of twice as much stuff. Like, why would you not
he literally is just a better Mario, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
The multiplayer is slightly different than how it is normally. Instead of when a character does a combo, you get sent more like pills to block your pieces. You get sent more viruses now, which honestly, I prefer that way more. I honestly think I like the multiplayer in this way better than normal Dr. Mario multiplayer.
Okay, and this is the
That's-
versus mode, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't really touch this. I think someone in the chat last week was like mentioning it.
Mm.
I had just played the single player, and I was like, I'm kind of just done with this.
That's fair. If you don't like the single player, there's probably no point in playing the multiplayer as well.
I mean, it's not even like the gameplay of it. I think I'm just like, there's so many meters and free to play stuff in there that I was just like, I'm tired of this. I don't need it.
So many meters? What?
Meters like stamina meters and ways they can nickel and dime you that it just kind of like turned me off.
So I haven't hit a paywall yet. I'm at about stage 88. But I did have someone say they found their paywall was about 140. So I'm not too far away from it. But I can definitely see how they would ramp it up because every world you get to adds a new mechanic, and some of those mechanics are just so tedious in single player. There's literally one mechanic where they're just like, oh yeah, to kill a virus, you have to kill it 4 times, which is just stupid. Because
how many worlds are there?
Right now, 5 worlds, and each world has 2 halves to it.
Okay.
I'm at a point where the mechanics they've added was they can be frozen in a block, which means they take 2 hits to kill.
Yeah.
They can be hidden in like Mario blocks, like the brick blocks, so you have to break those. They can be locked inside of a box, and the only way to attack them is to open the key, and you have to do that by matching 3 in a row. And there's also the life preserver, which literally gives them 3 extra hits, and every time you clear them, they move to a different part of the board, which can either be beneficial if they'll end up in a row with other ones, or they'll completely screw over your combos. I think the one mechanic I do like that they added to the game is that when you take a pill piece and you break it apart, or even when you don't and it's full, if you have room, you can move through solid objects to move the pills where you want them to go. So
yeah,
if there's a gap at the bottom, if there's a gap at like the top of the board, you can just move the piece up there and you'll be fine. Just move it through the other pieces. I like stuff like that. And I like how you can just pull out the pieces and just kind of let them slowly fall and then start chaining other things to let the pills make sense. That's honestly what's made multiplayer so fun, is being like, all right, here's 3 pieces here. Let's clear here, attack. Good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, because I didn't care for that new mechanic. I like old Dr. Mario.
That's fair. I don't like old Dr. Mario, so this felt refreshing to me.
Sure.
So.
All right.
And I think that might be an important line some people might draw. Like, some people might prefer old style and some might prefer new. And I think that's going to be an important thing for people. The problem is with the game is, like I said earlier, it's a gacha game where after you pick your default doctor, you have to get either diamonds or coins to do a random staff pull. And a random staff pull will either get you a new doctor or a new doctor's assistant. Each doctor can have 2 assistants working with them, and they all have different abilities. And you can get the same characters over again, and if you do, they level up and their abilities get better.
Yeah.
But I don't know how many levels it takes to actually get anyone leveled up to max. At least they have said if you level up someone to max, they are pulled out of the staffing pool. So the odds for everything else goes up. But
that's good.
They've also teased a lot of DLC characters based on what some data mines found. So it's already hard to get what you want on the current setup. So it's going to get way worse later down the road.
And have you put any money into it?
Nope, and I don't plan on it. The point I get to where I need to put money in is the point I stop. That is my usual rule of thumb for these kind of games.
Okay.
For a game for free, it's okay, but I can definitely see why people don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having fun with it, and that's the thing that matters to me right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. No,
Yep, and that's all I've been playing.
All right. I'm gonna jump in because I just got a couple things here.
Sure.
I played a little bit of Travis Strikes Again.
Okay.
No More Heroes. Or it was on sale for some reason last week, so I picked it up.
Okay.
I've only played through the first, game.
So you didn't even play 2?
No, well, after I beat the first game, I'm in some kind of text-based thing now.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, yeah.
Which I don't even know what this thing is, but it just keeps going. The story.
It's basically like the story. They try the main bit of the story is in that mode.
What's the main game?
The main game is the actual gameplay, and they add some story. But if you want like background on events that happened from like between No More Heroes 2 and now, you read through the Travis Strikes Again part, which is the text-based adventure game.
Searching for like the death balls or something?
Yeah, the death balls are basically the worlds that you play in the actual like gameplay.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're playing the console, which I can't remember what it's called, the Death Drive Mark II or something like that.
Something like that.
It is the system that you play in Let It Die. It's the sequel to that system.
Oh, weird. Okay, yeah, I would not have remembered that.
Yeah, no, it's a throwback. So the idea is that this is alternate timeline, alternate reality, where things ended
This
differently
isn't
after No More Heroes
canonical?
2. Technically, no, and apparently No More Heroes 3 happens before this, if it even happens in the same world.
I mean, I couldn't really tell you any of the story from the other No More Heroes anyway.
Well, especially considering you didn't play 2, so
2.
yeah.
Through all of 2, I didn't play through all of 1.
Oh, I thought you beat 1 for some reason, because I remember I helped you get through Shinobu and then handed you back your save.
I don't think I finished 1. I played through all of 2 though. Nothing about it, except that you turn into a tiger.
Yes, that is a thing.
Dull. Just kind
Yeah,
of
I can
across
see why
the
people wouldn't
board.
like it.
Like, I mean, again, I've only played the first level, but the first level, I don't really think it looks very good.
Mm,
I think the music's very interesting.
mm.
Combat so far is uninteresting. I know I need to get more like special moves. Like the UI in terms of them like putting the 2 characters on the sides of the screen.
Yeah, that
Single player, like I don't need to see Badman at all
it really
times.
only makes sense in multiplayer, and now that they've added more playable characters.
Yeah, so because it would show you your special moves if the second player was there, but because I'm not playing in multiplayer, like give me some screen real estate back. I don't know. I'm gonna play it a bit more, but it just kind of seems uninspiring, and it's not really. Yeah,
If you were expecting No More Heroes 1 or 2 out of this, you would be very disappointed.
I
This is
wasn't.
very much like
I knew to temper my expectations. And I'm just. I guess it's just kind of reinforcing everything I heard. It's just like kind of a dull experience.
yeah. If you like Suda's writing style and mainly just the writing, not really the cutscenes to back it up, then by all means work through it. But like I said, I don't think it's canonical. I think it's a side story, and I think No More Heroes 3 is going to kind of be the real timeline.
Right.
But the other thing was this was meant to help fund No More Heroes 3, which is why I was there day 1.
Sure.
And I enjoyed the little bit of it I played. Like I got past the first Strikes Again part where you were the text-based part, and then I got too busy to keep playing it. But I've been debating going back to it recently because I'm like, I could really go to see where this. I want to see where this goes.
Do you know what the season pass got me?
Season Pass got you 2 new characters, 2 new power-ups, some bonus modes.
I'm assuming shirts. There's a lot of shirts.
Extra shirt.
There's
shirts.
a weird assortment of shirts. There's like a shirt for like every game. And like it's the weirdest collection because there's some indie games that just kind of make sense. There's like a Hotline Miami shirt, like sure, of course that's there. But then there's shirts for like Reigns.
Yeah, no, they had a partnership with, was it Devolver? I think it was, because there's a stage based on Hotline Miami in the game.
That would make sense because they even referenced Devolver Digital in a cutscene. Like,
Yeah,
this is a weird game.
Originally, this game was supposed to be Travis was literally in worlds from indie games like Hotline Miami and a bunch of other games. But then they wrote the scale back and they made it mostly like original worlds, and then there's a Hotline Miami themed world later on. So apparently,
Weird.
like the tie-in that all the other games got was just shirts that Travis could wear because to support indie developers.
Yeah, I'm wearing a Deadly Premonition shirt.
Oh, I forgot there was a Deadly
There's a
Premonition shirt.
Valhalla shirt. there's a 2064 Read Only Memories shirt. Like, it's weird the pulls in this
Yeah.
game.
The DLC, batch number 1, additional playable character Shinobu. You can use her after beating the main game. Includes new Shinobu exclusive skills, 2 types. Also includes Badman version adventure part. Total 6 stories. So I think that's the text-based adventure for Badman. DLC 2 is Bubblegum Fatale. Additional playable character Bad Girl, who is Badman's daughter.
Isn't she dead? Isn't that the whole premise of this game?
Again, why it's a spinoff. She comes back to life or something. I don't know. I don't know if that's explained in the story or if it's just like, yeah, no, it's just, she's a playable now.
She's just in there. Yeah.
Can be used after clearing Killer Marathon. I don't know what that means. Includes new Bad Girl exclusive skills, 2 types. Includes new stage, Killer Marathon. Okay, so that's the DLC. Includes new skills unlocked after clearing Killer Marathon, and also includes all new Travis Virgin adventure part. Total 1 new story. So it adds 1 last story part as well. So 2 characters, a bunch of story parts, and some new skills for both characters, and I guess the marathon mode.
Yeah, we'll see how much more of this I keep playing.
That's fair.
And speaking of games that are just pretty boring, I played Big Crown Showdown.
That name alone sounds boring. What is this?
This is a Games with Gold title for this month,
Oh, God.
along with Meet the Robinsons, that movie tie-in game.
Nice.
So,
Microsoft.
Games with Gold at an all-time high this summer.
Batting 1,000.
Big Crown Showdown is... It's like a racing game. It's like it's a multiplayer racing game where you're just on these like weird contraptions and you got to get to the end. It's polygonal. It doesn't handle very well, and there's just like buzzsaws and stuff you have to jump over. That's
Great.
about it, man. It's just a party game that I can't recommend. But it's free. And the achievements come fast if you need some achievements, I guess.
Great.
But I basically played through every stage it had in like, I don't know, like an hour. So, and I won the Big Crown.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Nice.
I won the showdown. I got the Big Crown. Paul, what have you been playing?
I played a game. Play is a strong word. There's an interactive movie you can get called She Sees Red. And this is more so even than like walking simulators, story-based things, because you don't control anything. It's one of these like short films that when a plot point comes up, you decide like to hide or go this way, and then you will push that button and it'll continue playing like that.
Oh, it's Dragon's Lair.
It's less gameplay than that even. It's more like a short movie, and then like you choosing what chapter to switch the DVD to for the next like bit to play through, like a choose your own adventure sort of thing.
Okay.
It's totally fine. It's like made by a Russian indie studio or something called like Rhino Tales or something. It's like $8 Canadian, and like the idea is that you're finding out what's going on in this like mystery thriller thing. I'm guessing it's about revenge or something. I'm still not exactly sure, because you're supposed to watch it multiple times, and every time you watch through it and choose a different thing, you'll get like different parts of the story happening. And like honestly, the reason why I'm talking about it is I think it's a neat little like film thing that is competently shot and actually like looks better than some movies I've even watched recently. Like, it's really kind of impressive for what's a small studio or something in Russia, I think. So it's in Russian or dubbed English, and the dubbed English looks terrible because the lip syncing's completely off.
Well, yeah, it's a different language. What do you expect?
Yeah, no, I watched it in Russian with English subtitles, and there are 16 different languages worth of subtitles in this, so no matter what language you speak, it's likely that you can, like, see it. And yeah, it's just a cheap interactive movie that I think people should check out called She Sees Red,
Okay.
if you're so inclined. other than that, Risk of Rain 2 had a big update a couple weeks ago, and I finally got around to it this week, called like
I did not know about this.
Scorched Acres. Yeah, it came out the 25th of June. And it added a whole bunch of stuff. It added a new level that can sometimes replace the snow level as your third stage in a loop. So there's 2 third stages now. It added a new survivor named Rex, which is a weird plant robot hybrid thing. His main gimmick is doing a bunch of damage at the expense of your health, and then like an ability that can restore your health if you hit with it. Or of course you would just stack health items to like negate it. It has a new boss.
Is there an ending yet? Can you beat it yet?
No, this is just like adding some more stuff. So there's
Is this based on the Risk of Rain 1 like volcano stage?
no.
Okay.
This is a completely different thing.
All right.
There's a new enemy type that is a dude with a machine gun, basically. It's kind of like lackluster in its design, but it is what it is. There's another new elite type called Malachite, which is the most annoying thing I've ever played against in this game, because it like can negate your healing and just is the tankiest fucking garbage ever and takes forever to kill.
Okay.
They added...
Is elite the ones that come when you hit the portal?
No, they can just spawn at higher difficulties more often. There are like indicators for chests now, so you can tell which chest will give you damage items, healing items, or utility items. So you can build your run more accordingly, depending on your money. There's a bunch of new items. I won't go through all of them, obviously. But they're in there and they're kind of neat. And they just did a few balancing issues with the different characters. The biggest one being the Artificer, or the Wizard class, or whatever you would want to call it, now hovers when you hold the jump button, which is something it desperately needed to be able to move around, because that class dies very easily and consistently needs to be moving. And yeah, it's really, really cool. Free update, so if you have that game, maybe check it out and see that new character and do the new challenges that are in there. Yeah, that includes you, Sean. You should check it out.
I should.
Yeah.
I want to.
The big one, I guess, is Griftlands came out in an early access alpha type build on the Epic Game Store, so I decided to check that out. And for people that don't know what Griftlands is, it's that Clay Studios weird card-based RPG thing that they showed briefly at E3.
Yeah, card battlers are hot.
Yeah, so think Slay the Spire, but also with a conversation system that is also like Slay the Spire.
Right, that was the unique thing, is you could talk your way through stuff with cards.
Yeah, and that goes beyond, like, they showed just kind of the basic, like, you can get this guy on your side and he'll help you in the next battle or whatever. But like one of them is I negotiated more of a reward for my services. And like what happens in the conversation wheel basically is that when you're in that battle or whatever, you have these 2 circles that are going around, and they kind of show like what the other person's like arguments or what they're about to bring up is, kind of like the next attack sort of thing. But you can like also attack different things on them to like change the outcome. So specifically for, it's hard to explain, but specifically for asking for more money from someone for doing a job for them after I've done the job already, they have like 3 unique bubbles in their like speech wheel thing, right? And then it says like, if you destroy this one, they're going to add 12 gold. If you destroy this one, they're going to add another 40. If you destroy this one, it's like another like 120 or something. And like you attack those specific things to get that reward. But when you do, it increases their impatience or whatever. And that will make their attacks against you harder to like deal with. So it's kind of this weird, the conversation thing is this weird balance of trying to get what you want from them without pissing them off so much that they can like one-shot you and like turn down the argument completely. It's actually like
real life.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's not at all intuitive, but it's kind of neat, and it worked better than I thought it would.
During these conversations, what are you looking at? Like, are you physically fighting, or are they just talking to each other?
You're looking at like their two portraits, like as if it was like a cutscene with dialogue at the bottom or whatever. But around them are literally two like rotating like orbit wheels, and on those wheels are like different talking points or whatever, or different like buffs.
Right, but when you say like if you break this bubble, are you actually like using an attack on the bubble, or is the character just saying something?
No, you're playing a card and then like targeting the bubble or their, I don't even know what's called. I think it's resolve. So resolve in this situation is like their hit points, where you can end the conversation by just like completely browbeating them out and then just like winning the conversation because they know they no longer like want to have this discussion with you, essentially. But
okay, but that's just a metaphor though.
Right. It's just
like narratively they're just talking.
Narratively they're just talking, right? It's not a metaphor so much as it's like a number representation of when this conversation is going to end. So the idea for like that situation of getting more money out of somebody is trying to like get those numbers down so that like they'll give you more and then finishing the fight off or whatever. It's weird. It's hard to explain without seeing it. And honestly, even when you see it the first couple times, it doesn't make sense that much, really. I think they could do a better job of maybe showing that off in the UI, and I'm sure they will, because this is, again, just like an early access thing. This game isn't slated to come out till next year. Yeah. But yeah, it's totally fine. The other stuff in there is unremarkable. Like, it doesn't do it. That's the new thing it really does. The other stuff is basically, if you've played Slay the Spire, it's the same thing. You can play cards to do different attacks on different things and like different synergies and whatnot. So the battle system is pretty much the same as you would expect, but there are RPG elements in it that you can take different jobs, because you're like a bounty hunter in this world. So you take different jobs from different people and get money and like befriend people by buying them drinks and chatting with them. Like, yeah, it's one of those games otherwise, but cool. It's a roguelite in that when you die, and you start the very beginning again. And so far, there is only one character and one basic, like, line that you can go through for everything. It's about an hour's worth of content, so it might be a little steep for, what is it, $15, $20, something in there, asking price. I think 15 American. So yeah, but I just wanted to check in and say that Clay hasn't let me down yet, and this doesn't look like they're going to either. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I like Clay. I like card battlers.
Yep. Then this is something you should check out at some point for sure. When they add more, obviously, because it's a little bare bones right now, but it's cool. That's it for me.
Then let's do some news.
What do we got for news?
Paul, you can start us off with what you grabbed.
Yeah, Ubisoft released the full game list of what you can expect from their subscription service coming up, and I'm not going to go through all of it because it's like 100 and something games or something like that.
Right, this is Uplay Plus.
Uplay Plus, right? I guess the big ones for me is that basically every Assassin's Creed is on here. So if you've ever wanted to play like any of those, they all seem to be on here except for, which one is it?
I thought they were all on there.
I think there was one that wasn't, and I can't remember which.
All right, let me double check because I'll know.
Okay, yeah, go for it. The other stuff is all the Far Cries are on here, so you can check those out. For me, it was Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, the Ultimate 4-year edition, which gets you everything. This is a great way to play that with like friends or whatever for $15 a month. But Breakpoint, Ghost Recon Breakpoint is coming to this, so that's going to be a great way to play that without buying it outright if you want to. Watch Dogs Legion Ultimate is going to come to this as well. So yeah, there's a few different, it's going to basically be like their EA access sort of thing where they're going to have their new games on.
I found the one it's missing.
Which one?
It's missing Assassin's Creed 2 Discovery for the DS. But don't worry, that's you can get a GameStop copy of that for $15 pre-owned.
Oh man,
Nice.
that's as much as this whole service is, though.
Yeah, so it's gonna be one or the other for at least 1 month.
Also,
is this thing $15 a month?
$15 a month. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Being serious though, I think it has every mainline Assassin's Creed. It even has like Liberation and stuff.
Oh, does it have Liberation? Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah,
because
that was just remastered recently with 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it has all the Chronicles games too, so I believe it has everything.
Cool.
I can't really think of any games Uplay Plus is missing from Ubisoft.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
They got like every Rayman. They got all the Prince of Persias, including 2008 and the Forgotten Sands, which no one played.
I forgot about Forgotten Sands.
I played through it twice.
Yeah.
I put that on my shelf recently and forgot that I owned it.
That came out at the same time as the movie. That's technically a movie tie-in game.
Wow.
Despite being in the Sands of Time timeline.
And also like not having Jake Gyllenhaal in it. They did not make it look like him. Weird.
Yeah. But yeah, the new stuff coming out that's going to be on this make it a little more interesting to me, like Breakpoint, Legion, and Gods and Monsters. I have used EA Access or EA Vault or whatever the hell they call it before to cheaply play a new EA game for like $10 or $15 or whatever it is. When it came out, rather than buy it outright and then forget about it. And I would say that since I like Ubisoft games more than EA, this is just an easier thing to recommend for people that don't. Yeah.
Makes it a little harder, just personally, because at $15 a month, you would have, what is that, like? Three full price games a year will cover it.
Sure.
So you'll get $60 in 4 months, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if there's 3 full price games you want, then you're good. Most other services, it's less, right?
Sure. Yeah. Like for me, I'm going to buy Breakpoint anyway because I'm still like currently playing Wildlands, so I know I'll be playing Breakpoint. If I didn't have Siege, this is the perfect way to actually play right now because it has every operator unlocked and like all that stuff, so you can actually just play whatever. And being able to check out Gods and Monsters and Legion for the price of that is probably going to be okay as well. That being said, if you already have like all the operators in Siege and you have most of like the Assassin's Creed game, like there's no reason why you would have to get this. But for people that might want to like catch up on some of this stuff, I think $15 is fine for these games anyway. Because a lot of them you'll probably forget about and then just cancel your subscription anyway after a few months. At least that's what I'm assuming. I think what they're really going to go for is the people like doing stuff like Breakpoint or like Wildlands consistently and Siege and stuff, and they'll like continue paying $15 a month for that access rather than the one-time purchase. But, well, let's be honest, what they're actually going for is the people that forget that they signed up for this thing and get charged $15 for nothing every month.
Holy shit. What the hell was that?
What was that?
That was...
I have no idea.
Yikes.
Jeez. Something's going on outside.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Uplay.
Yeah, I don't know. A gunshot or something. Yeah, no. So there's a bunch of games you can check it out for yourself, and if it's something you think is worth getting, I think you could do worse than that. But again, I personally like to just buy the game and have it. I don't know. Tetris Effect is coming to PC next week. The Epic Game Store on the 23rd? 23rd.
That game's good.
Epic Game Store, huh?
Yep. And
right now it has a pre-order discount. I think you'll save, at least American, about $9. $8 or $9.
Yeah. It's like 30 something. So that makes sense.
Does that interest you, Paul? I think you're the only one who hasn't played it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. That's a good game.
Yeah. Especially if it's a little bit cheaper. I'll probably still
I think
wait
it's
for
the
a
same
sale.
price. I think it launched at 40, I believe. Because I remember people being like $40 for Tetris.
Yeah. For us, it was like closer to 50. That makes sense. 40 something. Yeah. So I think so.
All right. The news stories that I grabbed. This first one is that Apex is going to be adding in to deal with their cheaters. They're just going to make the cheaters play against other cheaters, which I think is funny and great.
It's
Like,
really
what a
I'm
good
surprised
idea.
they hadn't done that sooner, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, I'll read this post from the community manager over on Reddit. He said, "We know reports of cheaters, especially in ranked, have been a hot topic. So this week we wanted to provide a little visibility into some of the work that's been going on behind the scenes to combat cheating." And then he goes on to kind of break it down that they'll just kind of get put together, which that's a great idea.
Yep.
Do other games do this?
There was some fighting game that did something similar, but I think they changed their mind halfway through for some reason.
Yeah, Dota definitely does something where if you are like flagged as being a shitlord, you are put in the garbage pile with other shitlords. So every game is just a bunch of like people talking shit and like yelling at each other. At some point, if you're like part of that group, you just like get thrown into MMR hell with a bunch of like shitty people. But no, nothing specifically with cheating, I don't think.
As I'm skimming this article, apparently they implemented a similar system in Titanfall. But games like Max Payne 3 and Grid 2 also did this. This article also continues to say there's evidence of developers setting cheaters apart from the rest of their online populations as far back as 1997's Cron X, a turn-based strategy game that banished disruptive users to an in-game Antarctica where they could only play with one another.
Amazing.
Great.
Anyway, I just thought that was kind of cool. And then I guess it kind of turns into who can cheat the best. So good luck to them. Plants vs. Zombies 3 has been revealed.
Ooh.
Or it's been announced that it's officially in development.
Oh.
Pre-alpha is already available on the Google Play Store.
And it's currently
Although
full. I just tried signing up for it right now, and it says queue is
only
full.
a limited number of downloads is available per day.
Yep, so
maybe check back
tomorrow. Yep.
I'm curious what kind of avenue this one takes, because I remember when 2 came out, it was super microtransaction-y, which definitely turned me off. I
a
think
lot of people hated it because of that.
I think they changed that originally, so I think it's a lot different if I went back to it now. So I'm kind of curious how 3 will launch and what kind of state that will be in.
Well, I can tell you from one of these screenshots, you can see store is definitely there.
Right, I'm sure it has something in it, right?
And it's the first tab with a giant like number indicator to see what new things there are in it. Otherwise, this looks like just kind of the same game, but with some updated graphics, and I kind of like the updated look. It looks a little more like claymation-y or something you would see in Pee-wee's Playhouse, which I think is kind of a cool look.
I think you just got my interest with that.
If you click on that...
I think this looks just like regular Plants vs. Zombies.
It's
a little more cel-shaded.
It's a little more, yeah. Like if you click on that story that he linked and then click on the like get it on Google Play, you'll see the screenshot I'm talking about. I think I'm gonna try signing up for this maybe at midnight or later on, because I am interested to see what it's like.
You know, it's a good game. Plants vs. Zombies 1.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That game rules.
There's a reason why it's big, or it became big.
I didn't pay attention to a lot of college classes because I had that on my iPod Touch.
Oh, wow. Okay. I wouldn't say I went that far, but yeah, I thought it was good.
Okay, there's another Picross game coming, and it's tied to some anime thing.
Sure.
Have you looked this up?
Yes, I did see this.
Picross RPG?
Overlord, I think, is the actual anime it's tied with.
The game is called Picross Lord of the Nazarick.
Yeah, it is very much the same team that does all the other Picross games, so it is Jupiter.
It's Jupiter,
Mhm.
yeah.
But it's some tie-in with an anime.
Does that mean you won't play it?
It's Picross.
I'll
What would
play
that
it, but
matter?
I'm not done S3. I still have so much of S3 left to do.
Yeah.
This is gonna have Picross, Mega Picross, Clip Picross. What's that?
Clip Picross is where you're playing Picross. You're doing the normal Picross modes, and every couple that you clear, you unlock a part of a big picture in a separate mode.
Okay. And then Color Picross.
Color Picross is colors. So like
Mhm.
instead of having to just fill in black or an X, you have to fill in like red, blue, white,
Okay.
etc.
Apparently, it comes out a week from today.
Yep.
Yeah, it's next week.
I'm interested in the fact that it's an RPG.
Oh, I couldn't care less about that. I'm just excited
Or
for more
maybe, or
Picross.
not RPG, but a story-based one. That's interesting to me. Um,
How much is it?
I don't know. It is a Switch game though.
Probably standard price if I had to guess.
But what, standard for Picross or standard for video games?
Standard for Picross.
Okay, yeah, I can't see this being $60. I don't know. How much would you pay for this?
Whatever the normal Picross price is, which I think is like $12 Canadian.
I bet it's more than that. I bet it's
It's probably
15,
15
20.
plus.
I would
Yeah,
make
I mean, you're right.
I would pay a maximum of 20 Canadian, I think, myself.
I think it might be. I think I would pay max 20 American. That's my guess. Is it might be that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Well, I'm curious for when you guys play it, and you can tell me, should I get this one or just get a regular Picross?
Did you play S3?
I don't think I've played any. I think I've only played S1. Was that the first Picross on Switch? S.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the only one I played. Have you? Let me turn the tables around. Have you played Picross 3D Round 2?
Yeah.
That's a good Picross game. And
There's-
I still got puzzles in that, but I'm
There's
not turning my 3DS
few
on.
Picross games at this point that I haven't played because I keep looking for them.
Well, have you played Waters of Nazareth or whatever this one? I already closed this tab.
Waters of
moving on.
Nazareth?
It's my favorite Justice song.
Damn it, I
It's a good
haven't
one.
played it.
All right, there's another new Switch model on its way. This one will be replacing the standard model. It has a bigger battery.
Right.
So it's just
That's
an update. No form factor changes. Still has a bad DS or D-pad. It is also still a bad DS, I guess, technically.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, so replacing the $300 model, longer battery life, not substantially longer, but it seemed like you would add 3 or 4 hours depending on what you're playing, which is cool. This is coming mid-August, and the nice thing is it's going to have a different box, so it'll be easy to make sure you're buying the new one and not the old one, and it's not like a weird 360 thing where you need to be checking the serial number to see which version you're getting on the inside, because all the boxes look the same.
You were right. It's going to be about $13 because it's 1,080 yen.
Okay.
Okay. That's the Picross game, not this Switch.
Yeah, no. It's this Switch is going to be much more than that.
Damn, what a deal. I'm going to go get that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't here for the announcement of the light, John. What did you think about that?
It makes sense for them to make it, honestly.
Yeah.
It's
Are you
not
gonna
for
get
me,
one?
but no.
Okay. If you had to, what's the best color?
Ah, shoot, I forget which colors were there. The yellow one I remember being good.
Yeah, there's yellow, gray, and turquoise.
I'm looking at
And then the
colors
Pokemon
now.
one.
Oh, that gray is actually really strong too. They're all kind of good. I'd probably get the gray.
Wow, that's my least favorite by a mile.
Well, you're welcome. Someone had to buy it. They
I'm
made
all
it
about-
for me and only me.
That yellow.
Only you.
That's a good looking
The yellow is also really strong.
Yeah.
And last bit of news is that Luigi's Mansion 3 is coming out on Halloween, and that's fun.
Yeah.
Good time for it.
As a big fan of Costume Quest, also coming out in October years ago, I am here for more Halloween games on Halloween. I just want more seasonal games around the holiday. That's always a super fun time.
Man, I really liked Costume Quest. What a good time.
Yeah, Costume Quest 2, also good. There's also a TV show, and it's out, believe. I did never looked into it.
Yeah, me neither. Didn't know about it.
But Costume Quest is very good, yes.
Yep.
Okay, that does it for news. Let's go into some questions. If you want to send questions, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box. Paul, do you want to start us off with these episode names?
Hell yeah, I do. All right, starting from May 23rd, Rich with Fish is the title.
What?
Rich
I don't think I was here for this.
with Fish.
May 23rd, is that what you said?
May 23rd. Yep.
Where were you, John? Is this
I would
Borderlands?
have been at MomoCon.
Okay. Yeah, there was like the 3-week period where you were gone.
Mm-hmm.
Is this going to cover that?
Yes.
All
Okay.
3 of them, I think, yeah.
Rich with Fish. Paul, any ideas?
Nope. No idea.
No, not at all. I don't remember saying Rich with Fish.
Okay. So the context is, apparently I was explaining the monkey paw style wish system of Twisted Metal, and your understanding of that led you to believe that the title might be a result if you wish to be rich.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Right.
All right.
That's the twist. Is you're actually rich with fish. Okay, I vaguely remember that. Okay, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the week after, on the 30th, I want closure on my P-Cross puzzles.
I might have been home for this.
Yeah, this sounds like a John. Because
All can
I don't
think about
remember
is, does
this.
it have something to do with like seeing the picture when you're done? I think Paul said this actually.
It's either me or John, but I don't remember this at all.
It was probably talking about how I was getting Picross fatigue while playing through it, and I felt like I needed a break, but I still don't like waiting till the next one to start playing it because I feel like I need to finish
That
the game.
Sure, that sounds right.
That's the best I can come up with right now.
Okay. The context is John being upset that P-Cross E9 has not been released outside of Japan.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That also makes sense.
I forgot all about that.
Right, because we looked up how many Picross games had actually come out, and I commented that there was a couple E games that I hadn't played.
Yep. Okay, June 6th. Your insider information has no hold on me.
June 6th. Okay, this is probably something to do with
you working at
E3
GameStop.
Working at GameSpot.
Yeah.
Did you say stop?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah. All right. It happens.
I think that's exactly what it is. I don't know what specifically. Okay, context is during E3 predictions, apparently I guess there would be information on Jedi Fallen Order, and you said that it was already going to be there. I then accused you of having insider information and asked the audience to hit him up on Twitter for that.
Okay.
Did anybody hit you up on Twitter asking for
no.
insider information? Okay.
I don't no.
That'd be weird. Okay. After that is the E3 episode, the 13th. The alcohol was free, and I liked the games.
That would be a quote about the dude who was yelling during the Bethesda conference.
Oh, yeah.
Because I said I followed that guy on Twitter. I knew who it was, and that's what he posted on Twitter saying.
Okay, I would not have remembered that.
Okay. Context. John knew the guy screaming at Bethesda show. This was their reason for screaming. Okay. A little bit after that, on the 19th, it's mentally exhausting as well as murdering them. It's mentally exhausting as well as murdering them.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't have any idea.
Was I here for this week?
The 19th? I don't know. Okay, I'm just going to look it up here. Context. Apparently, we were asked about what comedy or rom-com characters you would put in Mortal Kombat. The suggestion of Adam Sandler and Click came up, and it was agreed that his fatality would be fast forward the enemy to their death where they're alone.
I think I was here for this. I remember the Click conversation.
Yeah, I barely remember
That is so
it.
funny.
So stupid. 27th of June. Thank God you're on the front line.
What?
June 27th.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Thank God you're on the front line. I somehow remember something like this, but I don't know what it was in context to.
I think this sounds like something Paul would say.
Yeah, I think this is a... I don't know what
don't
it's
know
in
what-
reference to, so I'm going to
Yeah, I have
just
no
say...
idea.
Okay, let's see. Apparently I said this sarcastically after Sean voiced his unenthusiastic opinion of Harry Potter Wizards Unite, specifically mentioning saving a newspaper from a gust of wind.
Right. Yes. I do. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Now I remember. That was shitty. July 4th. It's probably better than this one.
That is so vague. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be a
Canada
few
Day
things.
versus America Day?
It's probably
I don't know.
better
I don't
than
think
this
so,
one.
but I don't have a better guess.
Yeah, I'll go with it too. Context was Sean was plugging a 14-year-old who made a Mario Maker 2 and Little Big Planet 3. He said the kid didn't have a podcast, but then said he probably does and that's better than TDP.
Wow.
So stupid.
Wow.
And I know exactly what the context of this one is for last week. So last week, July 11th, he's making us talk less.
Right. Yes, because John wasn't here, and I said because when he is here, he makes us talk less.
What?
Yeah. I mean, you have it. I'm not even... fine, I'll read it. I was going to say I'm not even going to look at the context, but he wrote it here.
What
so
do you mean
Oh,
I make you talk less?
Yeah,
So-
no. I mean, that was the joke, right? So.
Context was talking about how John not being here made the questions more intriguing and the answers more in depth.
That is not what I said. I did not say that.
Wow!
That he had
Fuck
changed
all
the
y'all!
context of that. That is
Fuck
not
all
true.
y'all! God damn!
All I'm saying is that we as a host don't write in the questions, guys. You guys are
That's a
the
good
ones.
point. Okay.
It's
I'll
not
read
our...
this first question.
Yeah, go for it.
DGC Kenny. Should every game series that goes on for a long time eventually get a shakeup that is the equivalent to Breath of the Wild in terms of how much it shakes things up? Or is there a benefit for some games to more or less know what you're getting into when you buy a game in the series? That is a sentence.
Okay, I get
I
what
think
he means.
there's a benefit to being formulaic. Yeah, like the people know what they're getting into usually when they get a Zelda game. But I think it's just the span of time. I think it just depends on how long it's been doing the same thing before you feel like it needs something new.
Also, I bet the developers get bored about making the same game over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, do you think anyone is excited to be working on Madden?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
There's probably
Okay.
one or two people there
Okay.
that are just stoked about Madden. Should every game? Like, no. They don't have to, I guess, but it's nice when there's some difference.
I guess I'm gonna fall more on this on the should. Yes, especially if it's been going for a long time. Like, I'm gonna want something new. This happens frequently with a lot of games. Where something will come out so similar to it, maybe it's a sequel or whatever, and I just play so much less of it because I already played this game.
Well, then you should stop paying money for that thing.
Sure,
People should
yep.
be voting more for the new thing if that's what they want, rather than just buying it.
Okay. Next question. Who wants to take? John, why don't you take it?
Yogurt Sapien writes in and says, is there a game that you love, but you'll also never go back to play it because of something with the game? For example, Pokemon Crystal is probably my favorite game of all time, but I can't really return to it because the mechanics are so outdated.
Yeah. I feel like there's so many answers. I'm trying to think of one.
Yeah, I don't know any online game that is shut down.
Yeah, almost any classic game. I can't go back to like Game Boy Tetris because there's so many Tetris itself has improved over the years.
Yeah, no flying whales and star
Yeah, exactly.
creatures.
Right.
There's no music I could change the rhythm to based on how I play.
Exactly.
You'll never go back to you.
I think the one thing people forget about Game Boy Tetris is that you can't rotate pieces that are touching the wall, and that really sucks.
Yeah.
That really sucks.
Oh, really? I don't remember that. Okay.
Most people don't remember that.
Yeah, rose tinted glasses and all.
Mm-hmm.
I guess another way to word this question is like, is there a game that's very like time and place,
Sure.
and kind of doesn't hold up anymore, right? And unfortunately, this makes me think of like Burnout Paradise, right? They made the remaster and they didn't update anything besides the graphics, and it was like, it feels kind of old now. Like racing games have evolved, but it's still my favorite game.
I do like their example of Pokemon, because I really liked Pokemon Red, but trying to go back to that is fucking terrible. I think The Legend of Zelda 1 is definitely one of those things that if you've played it once, you won't go back to it.
I almost feel like the first game in almost any franchise has that issue.
That's probably
even Mario
true.
Brothers 1 is a bit like that.
Yeah, that's true. I'm rarely going to choose original Mario Brothers, or I guess original Super Mario Brothers. I don't ever want to play Mario Brothers.
Yeah. I guess the only thing throwing me off a little bit in the question is you'll never go back. It's like, well, I mean, I would play Mario 1 again at some point, but like, yeah, I wouldn't choose to.
Like, I'll pick up that NES controller. I'll play through it.
Yeah, you'll never go back.
I think it's just being a little hyperbolic. It's
no,
just a
totally.
Game that you wouldn't voluntarily go back.
Yeah, totally, for sure. Probably also any game that had like a remaster or remake. Like, I know I'll never play the Shadow of the Colossus on PS2 ever again because I have it on PS4, and like even people that bought it again on PS3 probably would just go to that, but like I'll never play that version again.
Sure. But is that only because it would just be difficult to like hook up a PS2 at this point?
No, it's because it is legitimately the worst version of that game.
Can you think of a game where the remaster is not considered better?
Silent Hill 2 specifically.
Yeah,
if I had to make that obvious.
They screwed up the thing and the fog doesn't show up, which means
they fucked up.
Just is visible.
Right. All right. Good.
All the atmosphere is gone.
Mm-hmm. Also, there were some weird problems I remember people saying about the Crash Bandicoot one, because they updated a lot of graphics and how the like thing looks, but they didn't upgrade a lot of how it actually plays, so everything feels a little off because of it. I never played it myself, so I can't attest. But
I played the first game in it, and I mean, it just kind of feels like an old game. But I hadn't played the original, and I assumed they wanted that because they didn't want to mix it up too much.
Okay, next question from Suku Suku. Do you think they'd ever make a second screen attachment for the Switch? With the 3DS dead, there's nowhere to go for games that rely on two screens.
100% nope.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
The best you're going to get is turning your Switch sideways.
Yeah, I could actually see that.
A bunch of games do support that.
Yep. For sure.
I think, yeah, like, they'll just develop around it. They'll just make it work on the Switch, obviously. Like, I don't think anyone's sitting there being like, I have the perfect DS game, and until the DS2 comes out or whatever, I'm not gonna make it.
Like they did. That was the 2DS.
I was trying to think of games. What are some games that like would really require the second screen? Because obviously there'd be Nintendo games, right? I'm trying to think of some games on the DS and 3DS, and like a lot of the ones that I liked, they just kind of made the second screen just like a map or like giant buttons, or at worst, they made it like an area that you would have to control the 3D like shootery-ness of it, like Metroid Hunters or whatever.
The camera.
Yeah.
Out of all the games I played on the DS, the only game that jumped to mind immediately that would probably benefit from having 2 screens, and even then could get around it, Henry Hatsworth. Because the top screen was the platforming game, and then the bottom screen was the puzzle game. So you had to
well,
jump
with
back
that,
and
I could
forth
say
between
it
the two.
all ends with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have made versions without that, but it's not the same.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, yeah. Well, I think the point is can you think of any DS game that it just could not be transitioned? Like they couldn't figure out a way to put it on the Switch or onto a regular console.
I'm sure
And
there
honestly,
are
like,
answers.
there's
but
gotta be. You gotta be mostly fine, honestly. It would be a bit more cumbersome, like World Ends With You is, but it could work.
Right.
Mhm.
The one that came to mind, but it's not even because of like the 2 screens so much, is just the form factor, is Hotel Dusk, because you held
Right.
it like a book.
Mm.
So you would kind of lose that part, but apart from that, the game would be totally fine as is. You would just lose the whole holding it like a book.
Mhm.
And then apart from that, I can also think of there's a few games where part of the puzzle involves closing the
Right.
lid.
Yeah.
So again, you could easily just design around that, but you would lose that's like specific puzzle would not work.
Rather than hold it like a book, if they remade Hotel Dusk or something, you could hold it like a cell phone though. So that could be
Like a
kind of neat.
huge giant cell phone.
Yeah.
Yep, you could. I mean, but that would just be a different thing, because it would be a
Totally.
new game.
Sure. Yeah, but I guess like what I'm getting at is not saying what would fundamentally change, because obviously there's a lot of games that would. For example, Zombie U on the Wii U is a better game than Zombie, which is the exact same game on the PC, because half of the reason that game was like kind of terrifying is that you would have to actually look down at your pad to do your inventory management, and things could sneak up on you while you were actually like looking through your backpack essentially, and you just can't get that on one screen. So there's a lot of games that would change, but like what would fundamentally not work? Because The World Ends With You would change, but that thing's out on Switch. So like what I'm saying is I don't think there's any games that you need a 3D DS a second screen for. It would just maybe be like shittier somehow.
A bunch of people in the chat said Etrian Odyssey, and the only thing I can think of is the bottom screen, I think, was used to draw the map while you were playing with it. But I mean, you can
But I
just press a
mean, with
button to
the
bring
Switch,
map.
could you not just like hit map button and then with your finger draw the map?
Yeah,
and
hold
then
like
hit
L or
close
something.
map button.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as good, but it's an option.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I think
And that's why I think that they would never do a second screen attachment, because there's nothing that would, like, even though you would get the crappier experience, I don't think anything fundamentally needed a second screen. It was just a cool thing that they utilized.
right. And they've developed around it before, because like every Professor Layton game is now on phones.
Sure.
Or not all of them, but like they're like most of them are coming.
Right.
All Phoenix Wright games are on phones, but I guess that started from Game Boy Advance, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Right. You definitely
And I
lose
guess that's why
something,
the only thing I was able to come up with was an actual form factor thing and not a 2-screen thing.
Sure.
Is I needed that hinge. Maybe that was the killer feature. We didn't even realize it at the time. It was that hinge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Game and Wario on the Wii U required 2 screens.
I mean, I am interested. If somebody has an answer, I would like write in and let me know. I just can't think of it right now, and it's kind of hard to think on the spot anyway. There's been so many times where like I've thought of an answer to a question like 4 days later. Just like, oh damn, that would have been like a good call for that question, but
right. All right, that does it for questions. If you want to send in questions for next week, it is topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What's your games of the week? I'm going to
Messenger
give it
DLC.
to the Apex that I played this week.
If you're gonna say Messenger DLC, I'll say Blazing Chrome.
Yeah, I kind of bounced between a couple of those there.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow I'm going to put up the poll for the next TDP Plus, so stay tuned for that and vote on what you want us to play. So look forward to that, and we'll see you guys next week. See you.
Later.
Bye.